everyone, I'm Judson Kimball, and I'm going to show you how to install your own sound ports in your laminate sided acoustic guitar. If you watch the full video, I'll show you from start to finish how to lay these out and drill the holes and clean them up, and it's actually really simple. First, I'm just going to give a little talk on things to consider for if you actually want these, and then what you'll get out of it, and then we'll jump into how to do it yourself. Real quick, this is the hole saw. It just mounts in any drill, and I can put any size bit on here. This is a 2-inch, and in this one I did 2-inch, 1 3/4, 1 1/2. So this is a Taylor GS Mini. It's a travel guitar for me. It's kind of a 3/4 size, parlor size guitar, smaller, great guitar, but a little bit smaller sound. So because I'm out and about with this guitar a lot, in the park, whatever, by water, on the beach, and there's background noise, street noise, I want extra volume. And so these holes, just because there's not a piece of wood between you and the vibrations, it shoots up some extra volume right at you, right at your ears. And also because the wood isn't between you and the sound waves anymore, I believe it makes the tone a little bit brighter, but mainly volume is what you're going to get out of it. And they look cool too, but so I don't actually want them on my full-size guitars because they have tons of volume, and to be honest, sometimes it's a little bit too loud if I'm just playing in my room and it's already quiet. But there are other reasons why you want more volume, such as on a smaller guitar or one you're going to be bringing out, playing outside a lot. And I think these are great. So beyond that, the biggest consideration, one of them, is if your guitar has electronics in there, just be mindful that there's wires and circuit boards and battery packs inside. And for me, I have had sound ports on a guitar and with electronics, and I actually didn't like it because when you're playing and you're looking in, all I could see was this jumble of wires, and it was just a turnoff. These are really cool. The aesthetics are awesome. If you're playing outside, the sunlight's streaming through. You can see the strings reflected down onto the back of the guitar, and it's just really cool. And I like just looking in there and seeing this empty guitar chamber and the light passing through, and that's it for me. The wires and all the electronics, just too busy for me. I didn't like it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then I only recommend using this technique with the hole saw on laminate side of guitar. This is plywood on the sides and back. There's 3 layers of wood. There's just a mahogany veneer here, and then the inside is like just pine plywood. So because you have 3 different layers of wood with differing grains, you get a ton of strength out of that, whereas with solid sided wood guitars, there's a little bit more chance of the wood tearing or splintering or something weird like that as you're drilling. I've never had that happen. I've only done them on laminate sided guitars. I've done about 10 of these now, and it's pretty simple. I'm going to walk you through from start to finish how to lay it out, measure it, mark it, pre-drill it, drill it, clean it up, sand it, stain it, oil it, and yeah, it's extremely do-it-yourself friendly, very inexpensive way to add a cool dimension to your guitar. You're just going to need to drill some hole saw bits, a little bit of fine sandpaper, measuring tape, that's about it. Yeah, so feel free to message me at any time if you want any advice. I'm an advocate for these, and I'm happy to help you out with it. I've enjoyed mine. I've been playing with these for about 5 years. Never had a single issue. People will tell you you're crazy for drilling a hole in the side of your guitar, but they just don't know what they're talking about because they have zero experience with it. This is super strong. I couldn't break this if I wanted to. And I don't think I covered this yet, but if you're a percussive fingerstyle player and you're doing taps on the side of the guitar, just keep in mind there's going to be less wood up here now, and your tone is definitely going to be different. For me, I do play percussive, but all my percussion is down here, not up here. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to reach out to me if I can help at all. Please share this with your friends and have fun doing it. Just take your time, don't rush it, think it over, and you're going to get some good results. So have fun with it. So the first thing I did, I just put some painter's tape on just for a protective layer for the drilling, and it's easier to read my marks. So I found the center of the circle, I measured equal distance in, and then I made a little hole with my awl, and then I'm going to be drilling a pilot hole, and then I'll move right on to the actual hole saw bit. So I'm just going to take a second to show you the tools I have. So I've got the tape, measuring tape, some various hole saws, pencil, marker. Here's my drill I'll be using. This is what I'm going to use for the pilot hole. And then here is my set of hole saws, and this is the center bit you'll use, and you can choose whichever one of these hole saw bits to fit on. So I'm actually going to be doing this 2-inch circle for my first sound port. Okay, so I've already got my hole marked. I measured and marked it, and then I pricked a little hole with the awl, which will just help seat my drill bit. I'm going to put in a pilot hole. You could skip this step, but it just is a lot safer and gives you more control when you get the bigger drill bit in there with the hole saw. So I'm just going to start small and work up with a series of bigger drill bits until I get to my final size, and then I'll plug on the hole saw. So this might look weird just holding it and drilling, but you get the most control. I just find a sturdy way to hold it. I'm just going to squeeze it between my legs, seat my drill bit, and then just go for it. So there you have it, and I'm just going to switch up to a bigger drill bit size. Okay, I'm back with a slightly bigger drill bit. Eventually, this is going to be the one that holds the hole saw, so I'm just working up to that just to keep it super safe. And I've already got my first pilot hole drilled, so I'm just going to center this in there, and then just go for it. Okay, so I'm going to go switch this out and hook up my 2-inch hole saw bit. Okay, I'm back with this 2-inch hole saw mounted on my drill, and again, just get a good grip on it. Just going to squeeze it between my legs, make sure the center drill bit gets seated. No wiggle, and then just go for it. Full throttle, keep your arm as still as you can, and just try this out, on a piece of scrap wood, or you have a cheap old guitar. Just try it out. It's not as difficult as it might look. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then I'll give you a look. So what you do is you take some fine sandpaper and just smooth this out, and just be careful not to do more sanding than you need to on the surface, because you're probably not going to be able to correct the abrasion to the finish that's on here. But as far as the actual exposed wood in here, and particularly the inside, we'll get that nice and cleaned up. And then I'm probably, because this is plywood, it's mahogany veneer, and then I guess it's either pine or spruce ply inside, and I'm probably going to take some mahogany dye and dye this pine in here, and then I'll just oil it after that so it'll blend in. Okay, so here I've just cleaned off the sawdust and lightly sanded with some 400 grit the inside of this hole. I haven't oiled or stained it yet because I don't have the stain, but that's all there is to it. I would just stay with a finer sandpaper so you don't scuff up the finish more than you need to. I just took some fabric, 400 grit, and just lightly just comb that around in there, and it'll smooth right up. And there you have it. That's a 2-inch sound port, and I'll give you a look inside. You can't see it too well, but anyway, they're super cool. You can see there. Okay, I'm back to drill the second sound hole, sound port. I've marked and measured and pre-drilled. So this is a 2-inch diameter sound port, and the second one is going to be 1 3/4, and then I'm going to squeeze in a 1.5 inch third one as well, and they'll look pretty cool. So same as before, I've got my 1 3/4 inch hole saw bit in place, and just going to seat the drill and go for it. Pretty good. Get that cleaned up. And I'll get that sanded, and then we'll get the third hole in place, and it's going to look pretty good. We are back to drill our third hole in this series of sound ports. See, I've got it taped, measured, marked, and pre-drilled. And so 2-inch hole, 1 3/4, and we're down to 1.5. I just picked that sequence because I have a hole saw kit, and that's what my options were. But you can buy the bits individually and do any diameter size you want. So here we go. And there you have it. Okay, so the third hole is done. You can see here. So what happened in my case, I got just a little too close. There's a block of wood inside. Hang on, just make sure you can see this. So there's a block of wood in here, that the neck brace attaches to, and I skimmed it by about 1/8 of an inch. Not sure if you can see that. You can, yeah, there you can see it. So right here, because I hit the block, I just continued the drill and just rounded it out. If I'd done it again, I guess I would have pre-measured the holes better and brought it up about 1/4 inch to avoid that, but not a big deal. So this is arbitrary. I have a 1/2 inch gap for consistency, and when I measure these holes out, I measure in from this side, mark, measure in from this side, mark, get my center point for each holes, because as you can see, this guitar body is tapered, so you're going to need to do precise measurements on each hole to make sure it turns out well. So yeah, here you have it. Pretty cool. You're going to get lots of volume out of that, and I've only lightly sanded these holes. Do a little more fine-tuning with the sandpaper, and then, like I said, I'm probably going to get a little mahogany dye stick from Minwax and color this inside pine plywood mahogany color, and then I'm going to oil it and it'll blend right in. And so I've done at least 10 of these holes, all in laminate sided guitars. Never had a single issue. I've had some of them about 5 years now. They hold up just fine. No issue whatsoever. The ply is super strong, and yeah, there you have it. It's really good for a little extra volume. It's going to make the tone just a little bit brighter to your ears, and they look cool. Okay, so here is the final product. I've sanded and stained the sound ports. I use this Minwax water-based mahogany stain, non-toxic, super easy to work with, fast drying. And once that dries, I'll oil the inside of these holes, but so just lightly sand them and stain them so that the the center plywood layer, which is pine, isn't showing. And there you have it. Pretty cool.